Hi kids. Okay, so I'm gonna go over how to paint my aerial perspective. This is the project that my kindergartners are doing where we are learning about the foreground, the middle ground, make sure you can see this, okay, the background, and how the brightness, opacity, and the saturation of color will change. So colors that are closest to you in the foreground are the brightest, the most saturated, and as they work their way back towards the horizon line, they become lighter in color, right? So I am set up to paint my foreground color, my foreground hill with green, and then I'm going to paint my middle ground with a tint of green, so color plus white. And then I'm going to paint my background hill with an even lighter tint, so more white. I also have some water here ready to go. You notice it's not filled up all the way because that'd be too high. And I have it sitting on a paper towel. Make sure you can see that. So that if there are any little spills, the paper towel is the first line of defense. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my green and I'm going to paint it onto only my foreground hill. So I'm painting right up to the edge where that foreground hill meets the middle ground and right up to the edges of the paper. Now you can see that my paint is streaky and thin, which means it's going to take two coats, two applications of paint. So I'm going to have to paint it on, and then I'm going to paint another coat on top so that it is fully painted in. And I will show you that when I am done. So let me pause this, finish this, and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I have painted my foreground hill. You can see it's still a little streaky, excuse me, but that's okay. We've got our hue there. The hue is just the color with nothing else mixed in. So green is the hue. But now I'm making a tint. So I've added some white to my green, and this is going to be my middle ground. The middle ground. So the one that is between the foreground and the background. I'm looking for this hill here, and I'm going to put this tint here. You can see what I'm doing here. So again, right up to the top of the hill, right up to the edge of the paper. And because this one has the white mixed in, you get better coverage, which means you might only need one coat. You might not need two. The green is very thin, but in this case, the white is a little bit more opaque. So I'll put this on here. Right up to there. All right, not bad. Not bad. Now, I have to make the background even lighter because, again, as you get further away, things look lighter. So I have more white off to the side that I'm going to mix in, and I'm going to make this a very light tint. So this looks very far away. And I'm going to put this lightest color here in the background. This is my background hill. Trying not to paint my sky so that I can paint my sky later. And I'm trying not to paint over my other hills if I can help it, so that I still have those different variations of green visible. And I should probably be using a smaller brush, but we will get it done. All right, now there is my landscape so far. And these are how you put the three different variations of green in: the hue, a middle tint, and a very light tint for your foreground, your middle ground, and your background. All right, kids, hope this helps.